Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
Welcome to another episode of Fit the Description, a Black Men's podcast where various Black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, and news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various Black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G, and today we got B.
What's up, y'all?
Keys is here.
When you turn it up on the speaker, for some reason, it's like really low. I don't know if Zoom has a separate volume, but on my phone, like I got it all the way up, and my phone is really high. Like it really gets high, so I think it's something to do with like the Zoom. It's like low.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. But let me finish this intro real quick. And we also got James D. Evans, which he's probably going to come in a little late because he's dealing with some stuff. So beyond that, I want to thank y'all, of course, always for joining the podcast. We definitely appreciate it. Just so you know, make sure on your way in to like and subscribe. If you're on other platforms, make sure to subscribe over there too. Also, make sure to check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description on YouTube. I know these podcasts can be pretty long, so make sure to check that out. And other than that, we're going to go ahead and get started.
So
yeah, man, I guess we'll start with some good news. I finally hit my weight goal. Actually, I'm 2 pounds under my weight goal, so I'm pretty happy.
Congratulations.
Yes. And that crap took me forever. I went through a severe diet. All I did was just eat protein and grass. That's all I did. All I ate. Protein and leaves. And then also I got sick last night too, so that sucked.
Last night? I would be sick too, eating like a guinea pig.
Ooh, yep. So yeah, so I'm on a sick last night. So yeah, I'm 2 pounds under my weight where I wanted to be weight wise. So, and there's definitely a difference. So I'm freaking happy.
I'll take congrats, man. Congrats on that. What was your weight goal?
So at my heaviest, I was at 182. And my weight goal was 164. But right now I'm at 162.
Nice.
That is literally a 20-pound loss.
How long did it take?
Months.
Go ahead.
Even when I had, because you know how they say being sick is like the best weight loss program that you could be on. And I could say because I actually had it. Even when I had COVID, that still didn't help me lose weight. It wasn't until like I had to get on my diet and I just cut out, like I went on a low carb diet, cut out all grain, all noodles. I cut out all sugars except for like actual sugar.
Right.
Yeah, I just cut out all that stuff. Didn't eat no fast food. All I did was just basically eat meat and freaking leaves. That's it. And yeah.
He eats meat.
But yeah, so yeah, that low carb diet works. Now I do need to build muscle. That's the next goal. Is I need to start building muscle. So that's the next thing I need to start doing. But I'm pretty freaking happy.
My even though I need to get back to working out. My goal is to stay at a consistent weight between 160 and 170. I think that's fine with me. I'm not worried about bulking up, but just more of being athletic in a sense and flexible. I'd rather have that be my goal. So, because you know, I never was a bulky dude. That's just not who I am. But that doesn't mean I can't be strong and toned and flexible and athletic. So
I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I was dancing the other day. I haven't danced like that in a minute either. Man, I was out of breath, motherfucker. I was out of breath. I'm like, okay, I need my athleticism back because dancers they're very athletic, very toned. They got a lot of endurance, and it is him. I was like, man, I need my athleticism back because that was a lot more draining than it should have been. So I think that's my goal right now is just to get toned up, be athletic, do a lot of dynamic exercises, be flexible, because I don't like being a brick wall stiff. I don't like being stiff, man. I like being flexible. So I need to get that back. So doing a lot of stretches, maybe some yoga, meditation, keep my joints flexible. And I think if I could get a consistent work schedule, at least do that like 4 times 4 days out of the week. If I can do that at least 4 days out the week, I think I'll be fine, especially going into next year. God, man, I want to be in shape by next year, man. I want to look good, and I wanted to show,
Oh man, you want to look good? That's gonna take a lot of work.
I mean, I already look good, bro. When it comes to look, I already look good. That ain't true, but for me personally, this when I say look good, but just to feel good, be healthy, feel good.
I feel you. I'm just clowning with you.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a man. I don't know how another man's supposed to look.
Oh, okay.
I ain't with the millenniums.
Respectable answer. Respectable answer.
Are you sure? Because I remember in gym class, I saw you keep looking at them dudes back then, man. I always questioned you when I first met you.
Man, look at you talk. You talk about losing weight. You can already hula hoop to a Cheerio. How much more weight you want to lose?
Enough where I can eat like I used to again. That's my answer. I want to get back to eating pizzas again.
Well, I don't know about that.
That's funny.
One pizza might.
Let's see. Can you hear buzzing?
Yeah, I hear buzzing.
Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. Let me put it on mute.
Okay.
I don't know about that, G. One pizza might gain you 10 more pounds.
Oh, it already did that. But the thing is, it takes a couple of days for it to happen. So
yeah.
But no, it's okay. So this one thing I learned about me, because this is why I knew I had to be smaller in weight, was because if I'm too heavy, for some reason I start getting chest pain.
Yeah.
So I learned. So that's why I'm like I need to be way under. But the problem is, I think I told you this too, that if I become too little in weight, I start having pains on my body.
Right.
So I need to be very careful on my weight. But yeah, I think the goal, if I had to say my goal, if I could get a little bit smaller, I would say it's 159, which I haven't weighed that since I was probably about 3 years ago.
You need to get you a girl, mate.
No, I gotta get my money up first. I think we already had a conversation.
No, that's my workout regimen. You'll get right. I'm trying to tell you. That's all you gotta do. Every night. Bang, bang, bang.
Hey man, that is the preferred way to work out. I ain't gonna lie about that. That is the preferred way. Shoot. Build up a sweat.
I think any guy could agree on that one.
You know what?
Best way to work out, man. Best way to work out.
You know,
if you struggle to get you some blue chews, you'll be straight.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't need no Bluetooth. I'm good right now. I'm straight. But did I ever tell you, like, me and Shivity actually talked about this on the podcast about women and stuff? I was telling him, I'm like, right now, because I need to work on myself and get my money up, I said, I got to treat pussy like a luxury right now.
He said like a luxury.
Hell yeah.
It's a delicacy. It's a delicacy to me. I'm like Bernie Mac. They said, Bernie, does pussy taste like pumpkin pie? He said, don't ask me no shit like that. I ain't never had pumpkin pie. Damn.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you with that. Nah, man. Well, I mean, we talked about off the podcast, man. I had to change that because I'm like, man, my money ain't right. My life ain't right. So now, I got to work on that. I got to build myself up. Then I'll get back to that side. But until I build myself up, I need to let that aside because knowing me, man, it's been so long that, dude, if I even get a little taste of that crap, I probably want more. And I ain't saying I'm an addict, but damn it.
Well, man, I'm happy you cleared it up. I was worried about you.
Shoot. Like I said, I ain't saying I'm an addict, but man, oh man, you get a
Nah,
little taste.
it ain't gonna be that. You ain't had it in a while. Soon as she blowing, it's
Right.
like, ee.
Right?
K.O. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
You're right. Right? I ain't going to deny that.
Fatality.
I ain't going to deny that. I'm not even going to deny that. Like I said, man, if I had a girl just touch my arm and be like, oh shit.
Sonya wins. Flawless victory.
I'm not even going to deny that. But yes, that's how I feel. I feel like if you ain't got your life together at a certain time, man, you need to set that shit aside and get your shit right before you start getting your, how do I say this without getting in trouble? Before you get your fun right. That's
Get your paper up before you start looking with these hoes.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Rock said it best. Men are the only beings on the planet that's not loved unconditionally. We are only loved under the condition of what we can provide.
Facts.
But there's a handful of women that's not like that, but they gotta really like you. And I think that's actually the best female to be with, is that one that really like you. Fuck all these pretty.
Okay, well, we'll get into that in a sec. No, the problem with that is that, do you know how few there are of women like that? You said it spot on. To most likely get a woman like that, you typically, as a man, got to date down in beauty. That's
Just stop worrying about the Instagram hoes and get the real ones, because the ones with them sweatpants, when they take it off, they got the same curves. I'm telling you.
Depends. And like I said, those are not as, a lot of those are far and few in between, man. It ain't.
Well, I didn't say to get a booger wolf. I'm just saying, or you gotta learn how to mold. get somebody early on, or make sure it's the girl she'd have been through some things. If she ain't been through nothing, she ain't gonna be the right one anyway.
I'm not sure about the been through stuff. That's a little.
No, it's men too. If you ain't been through nothing, you ain't gonna appreciate no real relationship. You gonna still be out there striving for the top this, the top that. Everything got to be perfect type of relationship, and end up stuck. And then before you know it, you old as hell and talking about something. I'll just take whoever want me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just you got to go through something. Everything's like that. You got to go through something to get to appreciate more. Unfortunately, that's our nature. If we don't go through nothing, we don't appreciate it.
That is true. But like I said, when you're talking about I would say that's more true with men than it is with women, because I mean, let's just be honest. Most men,
man, Forrest Gump. That's all I'm gonna say.
But usually girls that have a really dark past, usually those are the kind of girls that you don't always want, because it's something I realized and I've learned that, normally the longer a woman's past is, usually, not everybody, there's always some exceptions, and it also depends on who you go with, but usually her past has a tendency to tell you your future.
So that's why I said be careful with
Maybe
that.
it just takes
Nah,
a,
usually.
it takes a certain kind of man, and if she's that crazy, then she ain't gonna be good for nobody. But you could, you know what I'm saying, you could change some things. You could show her a new light. You just gotta be willing. You gotta be willing to get some cuts and some scrapes on the way down.
Yeah, but the problem is that usually that past tends to come back to bite sooner or later. Now again, it's not everybody. I'm not trying to say it's everybody, but 9 times out of 10, yeah, you that past gonna come back to bite you.
I don't know. I'm just
Nah,
saying.
it does.
I'm just saying because when somebody, once a female that been through something, she know how to recognize, and she's not going to tolerate certain. And she's not, and she kind of knows she's kind of done with once she's been through enough of them. But unfortunately, a lot of them it take them to go through 10 before they get them a good man that's probably was there the entire time.
Yeah, but you see, even with that is a problem. Like, and if she's been through 10 assholes 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to deal with all that comes from those. So, like a lot of those times, when those girls are burned and bitter, that they usually apply down to the next relationship. So you're right, the scars and scrapes, but is that even worth dealing with? But again, I'll also say this too on the men's side. Like, it also depends on the level of man that you're at. If you're a
Yes,
man who
that
has,
part.
yeah, that's the key thing. The higher value a man is, the least he could put up with from a woman. So that's one thing I would say, like when it comes to that, like, yeah, if you're no disrespect to any guys, but if you're kind of more on the lower end of things, whatever, you could put up with a lot more. But when you start gaining more, it's hard to be putting up with that shit.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
don't
but
have
then you
he don't
you
have the
go
time.
into
Oh, one person at a time. Both y'all talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Let B
Go
go,
ahead.
cause let B go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good. You go ahead, B.
Yeah, I mean, a guy who who did well within his life and built a lot. He don't have time to deal with the foolishness. And
Well, not only
compared to
that, sorry to cut you off, but not only that, I would even say it's not even at the time. It's that he has a lot to lose too. When you reach a certain level to me in life, like, you got to be careful who you deal with, because you deal with the wrong woman, she could cost you everything. You heard the saying, when I fuck up, I fuck up. When she fucks up, I fuck up. So,
and a guy with money, like I said, yeah, his trial and error in trying to find I guess say a wife. I mean, he a lot of women can't handle that type of trial error that a lot of rich guys could do to see if that woman is worth a wife in any way. Because
Let's keep it real. If a rich man ain't get nothing but a dime, period, and they gonna have him for a little while and as a trophy piece, and then get rid of him until they ready to get another one. Unless they grew up with the.
That's not fully true. That's not fully true.
You see, all these celebrities, half the time they with somebody like that is because of somebody from their past or somebody they know for a really long time. Other than that, they be having some model chick. Look at our former President Trump. Come on now. You really think they was in love and that's why he got her? No, he got her because he's an old dude and she's a model.
Okay. All right, so I kind of want to go back to a topic, just kind of change topic. I'm going to go back to a topic that we were talking about yesterday, and it's not really on that, but I'll just go through it. So yesterday we were talking about what's called Yume Adoka situation, about the Boston and him cheating on his wife and getting fired. Now, I'm not going to go into that part because there's a bigger conversation I kind of want to expand upon that we had last podcast. But I just want to say this real quick. I got more information on it. I'm not going to run back, but just to let you know that when we did that last podcast, I didn't have all the information. So some of that stuff is a little off, but there's a lot more details into it. But I don't want to go back. I want to move on. So we all know, however you feel, you guys feel. But this is a thing that I really want to step into. It goes back to cheating in the workplace. And I had to kind of think about my words, because I know I was telling James last time, I'm like, to, like, if we were to hire a girl and you were like to cheat on your wife, or just as an example, you would cheat on your wife, I wouldn't really care. But then I really had to look into it. I'm like, but you know what? And I had to kind of take that back a little bit, because if it affects the business and my ability to make money, that kind of changes things. And I only come up because I'm not sure if you guys know, but there's these guys, they were back in the BuzzFeed era called the Try Guys. I haven't watched them guys in years. But, or if you guys don't know who they are, they're those group of guys, those 4 guys that got their testosterone levels test, and they were like fucking low to the point where it's like you got to do something about it. And it came out the other day that one of the dudes was cheating on his wife, which, I mean, so be it, you know. But then I was listening to it, and I was kind of getting more viewpoints. I'm like, the issue with that and the reasoning of it, it makes a lot more sense to me, because his whole entire brand, that one dude, his whole entire brand was, I love my wife, I love my wife, I love my wife. And then to find out, like, lawyers got involved, legal situations got involved, I had to kind of really rethink. I really had to think about my stance on cheating in the workplace. And after, like, really thinking about it, I'm like, yes, I don't really care if somebody goes around and sleeps around, whatever. That's your business. If you want to ruin your family, you ruin your family. That's your business. But when it starts affecting the place of business and the job, especially when lawyers get involved and stuff, that's where it gets different. And I'll just tell anybody, like, if y'all sleep with somebody and lawyers get involved and my money starts getting affected, heads are going to roll. Because that's the one thing that I would have an issue with. What you do in your business is your business. Right. But once your business starts affecting my business, now it's my business. I'm going to have a problem with that. But I want to see, I got to actually take this call real quick. Does anybody want to chime in on this conversation? Do you feel like it's okay? Do you think it's okay to cheat? Do you think it's okay to cheat at the coworker? What's the issues with that? Like, whatever you want to put on the subject, but that's just kind of like, I just kind of wanted to more expand on it. I want to have more conversation specifically on that.
Workplace, you're a fucking idiot. That's too close to home. What
okay.
happens when
hold on. Before you go, I'm gonna let you guys take it over for a second. I gotta take this phone call, so you guys take it over for a second. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, not this again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so that's kind of stupid in my opinion. The reason I feel it's kind of stupid is very, very simple. When it's time to say, all right, then, you know what I'm saying, you got to still see that person every day. Like, that's one. You know what I'm saying? Two, if the person starts catching feelings, now they all up in your business and messing up your money. Like, so it's just like it's already a player no to even consider that. That's just dumb. You kind of, if you gotta really really trust that person, like, to a T, where you know, like, there is no absolute way this is going to turn into more than what it's supposed to be.
Right. So, before I give my opinion on the workplace situation, about that, the Celtic coach was it Ixon? I don't know. I don't know what his name is, but for that situation, I don't care.
Which was, you said,
for the Celtic coach, and he's cheating on his wife and another employee. That situation, I don't care. I think
it's not. It's like it's not my business.
Yeah. But for the Try Guy, that's something completely different, because I know what the Try Guys are. They were employees for BuzzFeed at first, and then they went off to do their own thing and formed this company called Try Guy. The Try Guy company. Yeah, it's very family orientated, and very family orientated. So for what was his name, Ned, who who did the cheating with his employee or assistant or wherever she was, for him to do that was actually very damaging to the company, because that company's whole brand is on family, and so
Right.
he had to go. Like,
one thing you agree on.
Right.
he had now for the Celtic coach. That's a whole. I mean, no. I mean, it's not such a big deal where he has to get suspended for a whole year. Like,
Can I use this TV?
I know that.
You using TV?
Oh, okay.
I was on the podcast. Hold on. You keep going. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'll keep going. So, for him to be suspended for a whole year like that, I don't think it was just that it was such a big deal. You know, I mean that's the situation that needs to be talked about between him and his wife. I don't think the organization needs to be involved in that situation like that between their affairs. So when it comes to that situation, it's like, I mean, just let the fans just boo him. When it comes to cheating in sports, it's like it is what it is. It's not such a big deal. Cause
let's talk about these women that be bugging you when you busy.
All right.
Let's talk about them, because I got this gnat behind me over here while I'm doing 30 different things at one time, asking all them questions. All right, I'm up here looking for emails for graphic design. I'm talking on this podcast, and then I got a painting over here on my side that I'm periodically painting. I'm up here, like I'm at capacity. Okay, there is nothing else I can do. If you throw one more thing at me, I'm probably gonna fall. I'm gonna pass out. I'm like, no, there's nothing else I can do right now.
So Keys, so you say worship,
exactly.
is unhealthy,
and this is why. This is why. This is why.
Yeah, man. But going back to our corporate relationship, I think, it's very, very, very risky. It's very dangerous. I as a man, I say if you please avoid it as much as possible. And if you are married, don't even think about doing it, because, like you just said, it's too close to home. It's too close to home.
Yeah, it's idiot. Yeah. You have to have complete. It's got to be like a chick that really, really, really don't give. Like she got to be She got to be certified. This don't give two about nothing, because
All right, and
but then that could hit you in the back too, because if she got a mouth on her, the whole office gonna know.
Exactly. So yeah, there's a lot of risk to it. I mean, if you're gonna play that game, which I don't quite advise, but if you're gonna do, at least be a single dude. At least be a single dude.
There you go. There you're good. At least be single.
And on top of that, if you're gonna do it, if it's a job that is your career and you're making a lot of money on that job, don't even bother. Don't risk all that, man. Your life is too good. But I mean, if you're not really planning on being there for that long, I mean, I still say, there's a risk to it. But if you lose the job, if it doesn't hurt like that, then so be it. But don't be in the company like Apple, Google, and you're in this workplace relationship, because if she decides to go south, and she could.
Bill Cosby.
Exactly. If she decides to go south, she could easily write up a report to the company of sexual assault, and you're gone. So, yeah, you guys.
I did not have sexual relationships.
Yeah, man, I feel bad for LL Cool Pack because he's gonna be mad because every single time we start talking about some conversations like that, he's the one that wants to be involved in these. He's never here. He's gonna be mad, like, man, why don't you ever flip? Hey, man, hey, it's Wednesdays, man. If we do Fridays, we'll bring it back. Sorry, LL Cool Pat. Like I said, my bad, man. I know you want to be a part of this. Yeah, but hey, man. Yeah, like I said, we do a Friday night, but hey, man, sorry, LL Cool Pat. Like I said, wish you were here, man. Hey, James will fill you in. You can talk to James. I know James been quiet on this podcast, fair enough, but hey, James will fill you in.
James is on here?
Yep, I'm here. I've been here.
Wow. That's so creepy, dude. Like you like that ex-girlfriend that tap the phone like, I'm still here.
I don't know how you would say that. I was the first one here.
Yeah.
Just quiet as hell. Oh, hell. Just sitting there just like.
I mean, honestly, most of the topics you guys have talked about, I've already, voiced my opinion on. So, kind of just gave you guys the floor, And then at one point,
I didn't check my email.
At one point, G wanted me to share some pictures, but then he locks the damn podcast, so I can't share anything. So I figured he didn't want me to. So
that is not true. It is not locked.
You just unlocked it.
He has control issues.
No, it's
you just
check it. Check it right now.
Yes, because you just unlocked it when I said something.
It's always been unlocked.
Really? Because before I even said something right now, I checked and it said this shit is locked. And then when I said something, you unlocked it.
That's because your computer's messed up.
No, that's because you're full of shit, and you always have it every time. I shit you not, every time it's locked until I have to say something. But G can share shit with you guys, like all the little charts he shows you. But anybody else, no, you have to go and like be like, hey man, I want to show something. But then he was like, yeah, you guys, when he was trying to get everybody to kind of guess what it was too. So well, yeah, no, that's G for you. Fucking asshole.
Oh my god, they're still making changes?
All I'm saying is that it is free.
It's free. Fuck, it's free.
I mean, it's open.
Yeah, it's open now. Exactly. Now that it's been 10 years since that fucking conversation, but yeah, no. It is good. It's all good, G. You guys had a cool podcast. I listened to it. God damn.
No, like
but again, if there was a topic going down, then I probably would have jumped in periodically because I did have a few customers rolling through here buying some shit. But I mean, for the most part, I've unmuted a couple times. I just didn't have shit to say that I haven't already said once or twice on the podcast. I'm trying to make it so that I'm not repetitive because I've been listening to a couple of these podcasts and going, "Nay, I just said the same shit over and over and over again on 3 or 4 different podcasts. Like, who the hell wants to listen to that?"
Hey, you know what? It works out because guess what? Nobody's gonna go back and listen to every single one.
That's not true. We're just not big enough for it to happen yet.
Nah.
You'll be surprised. We're just not big enough.
Those recaps is good. They're not gonna go back and be like, oh, that one. I know it's 2025, but that one they did back in 2022.
Dude, like I said, if we become big enough, if you start sharing the damn Clips channel, you'll be surprised at how many people will like look at our old content. Like, remember what you said on episode 3?
Hey, think about it. Isn't that how Kevin Hart lost his hosting the Oscars or some shit like that?
Yeah, because
somebody went back and found him talking about gay people.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, if we get big enough, they will fact check the shit. I hope none of y'all plan on running for office because this shit right here, y'all going down.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna be the one making the money because I'm gonna dime y'all all out. Keys running for president. Cool. Watch this. Episode 14. Look what he said here. Look at that. How much is this worth?
Oh,
Hey,
shit.
look, I'm a capitalist, bruh. Sorry.
That's funny.
Oh man.
See, look, you got nobody talks about that. Do we have any other capitalists on here? No. Or all you
I mean,
motherfuckers
that's a very highly political conversation. I have no problem with talking about it because I've been wanting to talk about it for a while.
No, because you're a Democrat. Shut up. I don't want to hear your shit. You're a goddamn liberal fucking whatever.
He does not like black people.
Whatever. He wants everybody's goddamn money and put it in a pot and then split it fucking equally. Fuck that. I work too damn hard for that. I mean, shit, bro. Like,
I think it's fucked up. I think it's fucked up though how they, you know, at the end of the day, if you let's be honest, if they really fucking cared, you know, they would bring jobs back to the states, and they wouldn't have the problem. You'll just have to pay people money to do work.
What the fuck did you just what? Did you just say they gonna bring jobs back to the states?
They need to bring. I'm saying they need
what
to
jobs?
Bring,
we got shit tons of jobs.
No. I'm talking about the old school jobs that you could do without having a high level education.
What job was that?
It's a lot of shit, more physical stuff, assembly line and shit.
Who the fuck wants to do that?
No, nobody. But you'll have a lot less homeless people if you had smaller jobs like that.
That's not true. That's not true at all. Because again, they had jobs like that. Nobody wants the shit anymore.
Because they can't. Because they don't pay them a living wage.
No, because okay, I've had this conversation a little bit ago. People say, "Oh my God, Mexicans are coming over here," and I'm like, they're taking like labor jobs, like they're picking berries and strawberries and shit like that. But now the problem is their kids don't want to follow in their footsteps anymore because they've been Americanized, and they're like, I can get a better job than this. Fuck that, I'd rather go drive Uber. So now there's a shortage of even those labor workers. So it's not the fact if they bring, like, you're like, yeah, they bring jobs, these hardcore blue collar manual labor jobs. These people don't want those damn jobs. They want to be TikTokers. They want to be YouTube influencers.
This is very true.
So you bring those jobs back, and what the fuck? You're just gonna have more signs that people are. So basically, you trying to get more sign people work by saying we're now hiring.
No. It's still, you still need that opportunity. I'm just saying there's some people in the world that just can't do these jobs that we have. They're not computer literate enough, or whatever the case may be. They need some regular shit that they can afford a single apartment and fucking eat.
Okay. Wait a minute. Because me and G had this.
Because people get mad at people on the county and shit. That's why they on the county and shit.
No.
They can't get no damn job.
Bro, me and G had a little conversation that honestly fits in here. Okay, so me and G were talking one day, and I was just scrolling around on the internet, and I found this thing, and it was like a job opening, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna apply for this. It's like a drug dealer. Like, it's basically like a drug delivery.
It's basically a drug dealer.
It was basically delivering weed. And I was like, you don't need any goddamn skills. You just need a car. I told G, I'm gonna apply for this. I want to tell everybody I'm a drug dealer. I just hang out on a corner like a D-boy. These motherfuckers called me. And I'm like, I don't really want to. I was just fucking around. I don't want to do this. I was just kidding. But it just proved there was no skills attached. All you need is a goddamn running car. And you
Okay,
can
now
go,
what happens if you don't? What if you on the street and you don't have a running car?
okay, but if you're on the street, you're already pretty much on the county, right?
No, not necessarily.
So what are you on then?
you could get denied.
If you're on the street, legitimately, you're not gonna get denied.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've got a gang of family members that work for the county. And that's what they do. They process those papers. So you don't get denied for shit.
I don't know.
Before you're on the street, before you're on the street, when you can't pay your bills, you can apply for county assistance and they'll pay your fucking bills.
Oh, you don't know, huh?
Like I said, my
They only
family
give
works
you
in that.
they don't pay you a lot. I'll put it that way. They might give you a hotel voucher. You a hotel voucher, but so far as paying your any major bill, nah, brother.
Dude,
What you get
again,
that little
dog,
$250 a month? You get that little $250 a month?
I'm not
Like
talking.
that?
I'm not talking about some monthly payment. I'm talking about, oh shit, my lights are gonna get cut off. You can get assistance where they'll chip you something so your fucking lights don't get disconnected. Most counties do that. Like you can get assistance. They're not gonna sit there and pay you. Oh, we're gonna give you $250 a month, bro. Get a fucking job.
No, that's what they give you.
But get a job.
Right, they give you $250. They give you $250 a month.
Okay, they're giving you $250 a month. That's an extra $250 that you
So
don't have to do shit for.
I have this guy's friend. We were talking about this subject, and he was talking about about how he got his own business and he can't get no help. Meanwhile, these other guys, walking around not doing nothing to get help from the county and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it's like his perspective. When you from that side, you don't really see the whole perspective. And I'm not on the county, I've ever had to collect food stamps before? Yes, I have. But I also seen some people that's stuck in the system as well. Like for instance, you're on, I don't know, let's just say you get housing assistance and you get cash assistance and you get food stamps. And then you decide, you know what? I want to change my life around. I don't want to depend on the county for the rest of my life. I want to do something with my life. They make it so difficult for you to do that. They make it extremely difficult for you to do that to the point to where people end up wanting to quit or just act like they're getting a job so they could get back on the county, because now they have to figure out where I'm going to live. Now they have to figure out how I'm going to feed my kids. Now they have to figure out all these other things instead of slowly getting them into it. Now they put them in panic mode. They won't offer them any form of assistance, especially depending on based off of how much they get paid. And what's sad about it, the equivalency of what they get paid, and once their bills go up to a regular amount, it doesn't it doesn't amount to the same shit. The only reason that the food stamps and the cash aid is working for them is because they're getting the assistance with housing and different shit like that and different benefits like that. But once you get a job, once you start getting the income and you start trying to better yourself, they strip all that stuff away. And then you're sitting up here, you're left with a dilemma. Do I continue to work and try to better myself and let my kids starve? Or do I stop working so my kids can eat?
Okay.
They fuck them up.
Okay. So at the end of the day, you're saying that everybody should just get government assistance.
No, I don't feel like everybody should get government assistance.
But you just said if they get stuck in this, well, you get okay. If that's all you're gonna teach your kids when they're growing up, then aren't your kids gonna fall in that same? No, I'm not talking. I'm not talking about
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
you said, yeah, at one point you were on the system, but you got out, right?
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah.
It's hard work and determination. That shit's not easy,
Mhm.
but you still did it. And there's tons of other
Well,
people
I
that do
wasn't.
it.
I personally never got in that deep. The deepest I'm talking about, the deep level I'm talking about, I've never gotten that deep. I just know people who's been in that deep or is still in that deep. Is still in that deep to where basically, for instance, you get Section 8, it's based off your income. So let's just say Section 8, your rent is $7. That means your income is low as shit, and it only be that way temporarily till something change, right? So
Yeah.
you got a low ass income, and they help you with that shit. But I'm just saying, like, once those people try to better themselves, once the people want to better themselves and get out of poverty, it's extremely life threatening for them to make that decision.
Okay,
Is
but you're
that's
still,
what my point.
but your point has, I can get your point, but then I also understand because again, like I said, my family works in that industry, so I can
Mhm.
watch, and personally, I've seen people take advantage of it. Like you just said, it's
Yes,
hard to get
people
out of it,
do.
right? But I had a manager at one point that worked in a different county than she lived. And back in the day, she got housing and all that stuff because she had a lot of kids and she was down on her luck. She picked herself up and she got a job, but she got a job in a different county, and those counties weren't reporting to each other. So this
Hmm.
chick was my goddamn manager, and she
Hmm.
was making fat bank, bro. She was making
Right.
like at least $60,000-$80,000 a year,
Right.
and she was still on Section 8.
Right.
How the
But
hell does that work? She still,
right.
she had
But
a
we're
fat
talking we're
crib,
talking about a
everything.
legit we're talking about a legitimate option.
What do you mean a legitimate option?
A legitimate option. Technically, she was committing fraud.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
but she needed it at one
Legitimately,
point. But she needed it at one point, and like you're
she had
saying,
to
oh,
commit. She had to commit fraud to get through it.
she didn't have to commit fraud. Okay, but then you're making $60,000 to $80,000 a year, so you don't need that benefit, that help anymore, right?
Right. People take advantage. Yes. So you have people that
Okay,
do
so
that.
how do you weed out who's taking it? It's just like a homeless guy asking for money on the corner. How do you
Right.
figure out if he just wants drugs or if he really needs a meal?
True. This is true.
You
But
have to fucking draw a line.
they do go extensive. Like, you got to go through a lot of shit to get that little bit of assistance. And even if, especially even Section 8, I mean, you're talking 5-10 years before
Yeah,
you
the
even.
waiting list is crazy.
Yeah, you're talking 5, 10, 20 years before you even get recognized and get called in.
Okay.
And by that time, your whole situation has changed. It happened to my wife. My wife, they finally called her, and shoot, we getting married, and we like, damn, we could use the shit, but now we're gonna have to she gonna have to get reevaluated, reassessed, and she gonna have to tell them about me. We're gonna have to figure out what they will. It's gonna start the process all over again. So she was like, fuck it. She didn't want to fight for it because it's like, you come at me 10 years later, the situation's changed. I'm still in poverty. I'm still down and out, but my situation's changed. And if I accept what you're giving me and you find out my situation's changed, now I'm in a whole nother situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like, I think it's kind of like how you get institutionalized. They kind of put you in an institutionalized kind of mindset where it's like a lot of people, you gotta see these single mothers and stuff like that. They don't know what other options that they could possibly do to get out the hole that they put themselves in. But I get you with your point. It is hard to weave out the scammers. But that don't mean just because it's hard, like you said before in another podcast, just because something's hard doesn't mean you just stop doing the shit.
What's up?
That was a quote from you. Just because it's hard and difficult doesn't mean they stop doing the shit. But it can't just go one way. It got to go the way of the people that that's in supposedly charge of this whole government country, to where you can't even collect water without their say so.
I mean, I
you
again,
know,
and I totally get that part, but at what point do you draw the line?
like I say, I think I personally think the way to me personally, I think the way to go is creating more job opportunities for people. Let's just say you 40 years old, you in your 40s, and you, for whatever reason, life hits you. You don't have no major schooling, but hey, man, you still got to survive. You still got to live. So
Yeah.
you need a job. You need a lower end. You need some lower end jobs, some simple trading. I don't care, assembling,
This
putting
is
together
this is
jeans.
this is what it is, dude. This is the problem for a long time now. And it's like after my generation, it seems to have really hit. Yes, you could be 40 years old and then something happens and then you don't really have anything and you don't have any schooling. The thing is, you need a trade.
Trade school costs money.
No, I didn't say trade school. I said you need a trade. At any point when I was fucking working and I lost a job or something like that, I could always fall back on, hey, I know how to install car stereos.
And I agree. They really need to have that in our schools. Period. That's what they need to bring back. Because back in the day, you could leave high school and be take shop and wood shop, or be a carpenter, or be a mechanic by the time you out of high school, because you had classes like that.
But back in the day, every neighborhood had a shady tree mechanic. That one dude who always had that dirty shirt, smoking a cigarette, who knew how to do some kind of work on your car. There was always some kind of gardener. There was always some kind of dude who could fix shit around the house, a handyman.
There you go.
Those dudes you're not going to make killer money, but you're going to make money. And they don't require it, and they don't force kids to do the shit anymore, because kids don't want to learn that. Like I said, kids want to be influencers. They don't want to get their hands
took it
dirty.
out. That before it got to this point, they took it out a long time ago.
No, they didn't.
They did. They took it out. I know. I don't know. I'm from South Central. They took a lot of
I'm
stuff
from West
out.
LA.
When I would start going to school in Lancaster, and they had freaking wrestling, I was impressed. I was like, whoa, you guys have wrestling?
But see,
I was
that's
like,
just it. You went to school in South Central, where yes, they probably really needed those programs, but more kids were worried about gang banging and beating up people than they were to go to woodshop.
This goes back to the same thing. Just because it's difficult, that don't mean you stop.
But if it's difficult when they're stealing all the shit out of the classroom.
I mean, that's you're gonna deal with that. You're gonna deal with that within that community, because you got people that just don't have shit. People that have shit don't have no reason to steal.
It goes back to my statement that I made the last time me and you were on a podcast. Okay, that's not the school's damn fault. That's the community's fault. The community needs to start putting more fucking investment into their damn future, instead of worrying about, well, the school's gonna take care of it, but you can't do this and you can't do. Don't restrict them then. If you can't do it yourself and you need them to do it, then you can't restrict what they're doing. You may not like their methods, but if at the end of the day, if your kid's not gonna be a gangbanger, but he's gonna be a pillar of the community, then let him fucking do it. But no, everything has to be well, this and that, and you gotta be hard, real, from streets. Well, yeah, the only people that's now gonna give them an education is gonna be the gangs. So they're gonna learn how to sell dope, but they ain't gonna learn how to build a damn shelf.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
I'm
No,
trying.
go ahead.
I'm trying to bump in this conversation. I didn't realize my mic was on mute.
Go ahead, man. Go
But,
ahead. We need some fresh blood on this.
Yeah, but no. When you say things like they need jobs or whatever, no, we actually do have a lot of jobs. It's just these kids don't want to apply for. They don't want to apply for these jobs. They don't want to work. When I'm driving to work, all I see is hiring now, but they still can't get employees to work. So we don't have a job shortage. It's just that today people just don't want to work.
Well, that's been since I think that happened between I think right before the pandemic and after the pandemic. That's when all these jobs became available. And on top of that, you see it was a shift all of a sudden to try to get people to get a job. They started trying to give people living wages. So McDonald's was raising their what they were going to pay their employees, and that's when you think about it, that's actually part of it too, because at the end of the day, you have this girl who, let's just say, because a new era, like you say, it's like the little boy who see the dope dealer. She see her sister twerking on social media and making $1,000 a day, $500 a day. She gonna be like, well, fuck it, I'd rather do that. That's human nature. That's gonna be human nature. Just like when the kids see the dope dealer and they see the person who got a 9-to-5 job and he's struggling, but then they see the dope dealer who got the car, got the hoes, got the house. So now he's like, shit, I need to do this.
Okay, hold on. Let me cut in real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, going on to what B said about, there's a lot of these kids don't want jobs. I mean, I'll be honest with you, just my feelings on it. I necessarily don't think it's a bad thing, because I think just honestly, things are just kind of jacked up right now and shit needs to be fixed. So as much as I agree with, like, yeah, these kids don't want jobs, they need it. And I do think as kids, you should be working these lower end jobs, whatever. But it goes back to something that James said, or not even a couple of podcasts ago. He's actually said on 2 different podcasts, and I'll just reiterate so he doesn't have to say it again. Basically, he said if you go back to when he was growing up, I guess when he was a kid, whatever, you used to be able to buy a house on a McDonald's salary,
Right.
They said you get a McDonald's job. You're lucky if you can pay at least 3 bills.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, yeah, I mean, that's why, like, I'm not too upset about that, because I just think that there's something up with the fucking system and it needs to change. Now, yes, do I think if you're a young kid you should have those jobs? Yes, because I do think those jobs help you build character and give you certain attributes that you need. So I don't think when you're a young man you should avoid those jobs. It's necessary for your growth into becoming an adult and becoming a better man.
Right. But I also think it's just a shift in general. Getting a job has become like a crapshoot. It's like playing the lotto. It's about what you have on paper to even get your foot in the door. Before, you could walk into a place and talk to a manager, and present yourself in a manner of I'm responsible and I want to work. Now you're just a piece of paper. You're just a fucking number, like a fucking prisoner.
You can do that now. There's 3 or 4 spots over here right now I've driven by that say open interviews Tuesday 2:30. They're hiring on the spot.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that part.
What place is this?
Dude, there's
There's a lot of places.
No,
There's
what
a-
kind of
a
places?
lot.
Like what kind of
There's a lot of
places?
There's warehouses over here. There's warehouses. I know there's the Yoshinoya around the corner. There's a In-N-Out
I don't
around
know.
the corner.
I'm just saying, with my experience, I got a job, and even while I have a job, I'll sit up there and let's just say, I'll apply for every business I could possibly go to locally, and you'll apply. You don't get so much as a callback. This is so I'm speaking off of my experience as well, when it's like playing a lotto, because you sit up here, you're doing 5-10 applications a day and you don't get so much as a phone call. You kind of your self-esteem kind of goes down a little bit.
No, I mean, I got, and prior to a few years ago, it was like that.
Yeah, it was like that a couple years ago.
I'm talking about today.
Yeah.
Whatever happened in the past, we're talking about today, adapting to the day. And
you know what? My apologies. Let me let you finish, B.
Yeah, I want to hear B.
Yeah, so I was
He's making some good points.
Yeah, so in this current form, in today's field, there, like I just said, like James just said, there's a lot of jobs where it says now hire on the spot. You just have to just go out there and drive around. You could just drive around your own city and see it. And the jobs vary from working at a fast food joint to working at a warehouse to working for the city. It's all over the place. I don't think people are really looking. Even my job, they're hiring all the time. I tell people that my job's hiring all the time. Do they apply for it?
Well,
No.
I get you on looking, but I just look at people like, even I don't know. So for example, you have people trying to be entrepreneurs, but at the same time, they're not making anything as an entrepreneur. So it's like, okay, when are you gonna get to the point to where you're actually gonna try to work?
So
you gotta have some income.
So
go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll say first. Let me just start off with the entrepreneurship. The thing about being an entrepreneur, and that's the thing that you gotta understand, entrepreneurship is not easy. The thing about entrepreneurship.
Oh, I know, I'm an entrepreneur.
No, I get that, but no, this is more to the audience too.
Yeah.
But the thing about being an entrepreneur, when you decide that route, understand the one thing you gotta understand: it takes time, and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of sacrifices. Sometimes you're gonna get broke. A lot of people ain't built for that. And some people ain't in a situation that they can't do it. That's why I said entrepreneurship ain't for everybody. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur, hey, you better understand what comes with it. Secondly, to kind of go on B's point, and B can vouch because he was there with me with the dude. So I had a friend I used to work with, and we used to work together at Sears Outlet. And he was a good dude, and dude was a seller. He's like, I want to make more money. Me and B knew this dude. I mean, he wasn't there for it, but I was talking to my coworker, and me and B knew this dude, and he was like, "Hey, you could sell systems here, and you could make $10,000." The only reason why I didn't do it was because for me to sell, I need to know this stuff. I didn't know nothing about it, so I couldn't really do the job. Not that I didn't want to, but I'm not a good seller unless I really know what I'm selling. That's just how I am. But I went to my friend, and he was great at selling. That just was his thing. I'm like, hey, man, I got this dude. Just call this number. All you got to do is call this number. You can get a job just selling like computer systems that you can make bank. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. You know what? He never freaking called. He never called. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of on you. And that was a good job. That was a really good job. B was there with me. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. He knows exactly who I'm talking about. Oh, anyways, last point I'm trying to make is this: is that a guy like me, so I get what you're saying, where there's jobs out there, but a guy like me who has multiple degrees. I may not have a bachelor's, but I still have multiple degrees. I have multiple certificates. I have licenses. I have training. All this stuff, and I'm over here trying to apply for the job in my field, and I can't even get a call back. And that is way more upsetting than what you're talking about, because I think Beats also in this situation too. We actually have degrees. We actually put in the work. We actually train to do our jobs, and we can't even get a call back in our field. And that right there is way more frustrating. Yeah, you're right. You do have a degree. Or do you have a certificate?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever you have. Yeah, I know you have it, and
and I have and on top of that, I have years of experience.
Okay, I mean, even like when we're excluding the experience, the fact that I did what I was told. I mean, hell, to be honest, I have more degrees than my mom right now. Way more degrees than my mom. Technically, if you talk about school, I'm way more accomplished than she is through school. Yeah, I can't even get a call back in my own field that I trained for, that I know that you're right, I do have experience in, and I can't even call back. And in that situation, that's way more frustrating than what you're talking about. It's very different when you talk about a kid who's on the street, who's like, I need a job, and you can easily go to McDonald's, compared to me, who is actually trained, who actually worked his butt off, who actually made sacrifice to do this freaking job, and I came and get in my team and look at me. That right there is way more angry and way more frustrating than these people on the street talk about, oh, I can't find a job, and there's literally plenty of jobs out there, but you don't want.
Yeah, it's you never know when with some of these people. I mean, even just I mean, it goes real deep. Like, even like, let's just say you apply for something like fucking Walmart.
Yeah.
The application process is so damn extensive. You're like, fuck. You're doing all that shit, and you might not even get a fucking call back. You done wasted like an hour and some change on applying to one place that you might not get a call back from. But like you said, right now, I'm not sure what's going on right now. Come December, I'll probably know what's going on, and I could be able to comment better on right now. But I just from my experience, getting jobs and nowadays is like is so unpersonal, and it's like, if you don't have credentials, or sometimes even if you have the credentials, it's like you don't get so much as a call back.
Well, it's not even that; it's the fact that you put in all this work, and you did exactly what you were told, and it doesn't work like it's supposed to happen.
Right.
That's the most frustrating thing. That is way more frustrating. Go ahead.
It's frustrating, but at the same time, this is like, okay, I can't stay frustrated forever, though.
Yeah.
I have to realize, okay, no,
eventually it's like, okay, I can't get nothing in my field. I got to get something ready.
Yeah, you got to get something. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you guys as well. And I had to sit back. I was like, okay, I did whatever I did so far. I did what I was told. The parents, school, they told me all that stuff. Maybe it worked during their time period, but it just don't work no more.
Of course.
Yeah. What do I have to do now to make myself a valuable asset in the eyes of these employees? You know, when I look at my network is, let's say, it has a lot to be desired, that's for sure. So I know, especially if you're an entrepreneur or a freelancer, they look at that network. If your network is weak, they see you're not connected to anything. They see, okay, you haven't been to no workshops, you don't know anybody, so forth. Let's go find someone who has put in that type of work.
That's what's kind of screwed up, I think.
Yeah, I mean, is this how the way it is now? You know, we have to adapt. We have to adapt to that. Sadly,
yeah, but it's like where does the opportunity come from if you have to have all of this just to even get your foot in the fucking building?
So I mean, I'll say this.
Where does the opportunity come from? You're not giving nobody an opportunity, because
why do you need to give them an opportunity?
Why you need to give them an opportunity so they can stop asking for change in front of your shop. That's why you got to give them an opportunity.
They don't ask for change in front of my shop.
It's a figure of speech. I'm just saying, like,
nah, fuck that. But
I'm just saying, figure of speech. You
Well,
want to get more
but
people off the street. You want to get more people off the street. You give them opportunity to make a living wage. That's just how I feel for the people that actually want to work. There's people that want to work. Put it this way: there's people that want to work that still can't get a job. I'm not talking about the people that don't want to work. People that want to work can't get a job.
What's the issue with them? Why can't they get a job? They need okay. So with all of the opportunities out there, somebody needs to give them an opportunity.
What I'm saying is,
what you're saying is the same thing that everybody says.
What I'm saying is,
so you need to spoon feed them. You need to spoon feed them the opportunity because they can't just go out and get it.
It's all in perspective. What if you are going out to get it? What if you went around every single day filling out applications for a month and you didn't get so much as a call?
Okay, then that is. Won't you? Okay.
And now you're on the verge of eviction.
If you go around and holler at all kinds of chicks and none of them are interested in you, are you gonna say maybe I should figure out what chicks I'm trying to get at, or are you just gonna go?
Oh, I'm the wrong person. I just gave up. I'm the wrong
there we
go. Some other time. I'm not gonna keep putting myself through this shit. Fuck that shit. I'm cool. You don't like me? Fuck it. I move on. Hello, pornography store.
Well, again,
X2, whatever the fuck.
And there it is. Because people are so used to instant gratification that if you fill out a couple applications and you don't get hired, you're like, oh man, that's it, dude. I'm done.
No, it's more than a couple.
So you gotta your resume gotta match key terms for how for the computer that these companies are using. Me personally, I was thinking about actually paying someone to do my resume and a cover letter.
Right.
Someone who's good at this, because I suck with resumes, and I realized that. I suck with the cover letters, and I realized that. So I was like, okay, I know my weakness. Well, I think it's just better off to just, pay the $180 or $100 or whatever, how much it costs to get my resume reworked. So when I started applying my resume on these sites, their system or the company system can actually read it.
And I think that's dope. But what about
yeah. I mean, okay, so this is the thing. This is not me disagreeing with you, B, at all. So understand, this is not a rebuttal to what you said. But to me, in my personal opinion, that's bullshit though. Because it shouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in a position where you need money, I should not have to pay.
How you gonna pay somebody to get a job?
Yeah, and even doing my like resume. So like I said, I'm not saying you're not doing something wrong. Hell, I had somebody do my resume. But
I'm getting ready to do that same shit.
Yeah, but to me, it's bullshit because it shouldn't be like that on any level. You shouldn't have to pay somebody to fucking do your resume up. Like that's bullshit. No, that's bullshit.
But that's how
you don't have to.
I mean, it sucks.
You have to get.
No. Again, this is not an argument. But this is not an argument about what you're doing is wrong. But I'm saying it's still bullshit that you have to do it in general.
Exactly. I agree.
It's still bullshit. It doesn't mean I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong.
But why is that bullshit?
It's totally fucking bullshit.
Why?
Because you're fucking telling me that I gotta sit here and pay somebody else to get my application instead of me putting my application, and you can't give me a phone call and talk to me and just see who the fuck I am. That's bullshit to me. Because again, you're putting somebody else. You're putting somebody. You're putting somebody who needs something in a bigger bind.
Thank you.
You can easily go out and freaking help.
What makes you better than the other guy?
Give me a chance to show you that I'm better.
There's 5,000 people submitting resumes. That's what, when I was growing up, that's what we were taught. Your resume is you on paper. If you
Half the
suck
time
at
they don't
making
take
that
your
fucking
resume. You
resume,
still gotta fill out the
doesn't
application.
matter. If you suck at making that resume, I'm not gonna give you a second look. For somebody who's been in management for a long time, there was plenty of applications I looked at like, this person barely can read. Because I'm looking at this application like it doesn't make sense.
Now,
Doesn't make,
does
I'm throwing it away.
But you see,
this
and
is
that's the
thing.
difference. You know, hold on, let me say this. But that's the difference, and that I can more accept because you at least had to read my resume. What B is saying, which he's right, is that it's a fucking computer that does that shit. That if you don't have those fucking words correct, they don't even look at you, and that's a fucking problem. Now I get what you're saying.
Because,
wait, hold on. I get what you're saying when you're saying you got
oh, fucker, you cut me off.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But all I'm saying is, yes, I understand that you're saying as a manager that you got 5,000 applications to look through. I get that. But to me, it's my job to make my application or my resume viable, so you look at it and you can read what I have on there and give me a chance instead of having a computer do that bullshit for you and you gotta look for keywords. That's bullshit to me.
Hey, you know who you need to thank for?
Who?
Look in the fucking mirror. Like I said, you guys want shit instant. Everybody.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
That's the way society is.
I agree.
It's geared off of you guys. So now everything needs to be automated. Everything needs to be simplified. Everything needs to be blah, 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 blah. So that's how they do it now. It's online because you don't need you used to have to go to the place. You have to catch the fucking bus. You have to fill out an application in front of people so they can see how you dress like a bum and they don't want to hire you. Now you can sit in your drawers and fill out your resume. So yes, you get to have that. You have to get a computer that looks for keywords. And if you can't fucking figure out the keywords, you don't have to pay somebody. Google is free. You can go on Google and then search keywords and then apply them into your resume. You don't have to pay somebody. But again, you're like, B's like, look,
my dad can't do that shit.
What?
My dad old ass can't do that shit.
How is that?
He's old. He barely knows how to type on a computer.
Bullshit. There again, the senior center over here in Riverside has a fucking class that teaches older people computers. He's
been taking private tutoring for a couple years, and he's still not computer savvy.
Okay, but it's the way of the world.
Right.
It's how everything's changing. So you can't sit there and say, well, one person isn't gonna stop the masses.
Right. But if
B's pissed off and B isn't pissed off.
Yeah, I'm pissed off. That's me.
You're the one pissed. G's pissed off over here because he feels a computer shouldn't have to do it. Bullshit. Because again, there's 10,000 fucking resumes coming in now.
Right.
This guy's not gonna sit there and look through all of them.
So fuck everybody. Let them die.
Yep. That's how it's gonna end up being, right?
Because half the people. From your logic, that's what you're saying. Fuck you. You can't. You. Fuck you. You don't deserve to eat. You don't deserve. If you accidentally had a child, you don't deserve to feed that child because you don't know how to do this computer. Okay. You don't know how to do this computer shit. Even though the job doesn't require you to do computer shit, but you don't know how to do it. But you don't know how to use this computer. So because you can't do this computer right, I'm not going to fucking hire you, even though I need you to be a fucking garbage man.
Okay, but a garbage man, are you going to sit there and have to go through a whole computer test?
This is a figure of speech.
But see, how come everything you're saying is? I'm telling you facts. I'm telling you, everything with you is a figure of speech. How the hell does that work?
Okay, it works like this. There's jobs. I won't say a specific job. There are jobs that does not require you to have computer skills. Okay, there's jobs that don't require you to have computer skills, right? So if I can't get past the whatever on the computer, If I don't give it to you the way you feel like it should be given, but
Your
I could do
principle's
the,
flawed.
but I could do the job. Why
Your-
can't I have why can't I have an opportunity because I can't fuck with the computer?
Your principle's flawed. You're telling me a job that doesn't contain computers, you have to fill out a resume on the computer?
Yeah,
No, that doesn't make
yeah.
sense. It doesn't make sense,
You got to
bro.
fill out a resume. You got to fill out a resume. You got to fill out an
No,
application.
you have
gotta
to
do
send in a
something.
resume, yes,
Mm-hmm.
but you
But
don't have to deal with the computer.
how many jobs?
Tell me the job that doesn't need a computer.
Caregiver.
You need a computer for
You
that.
need a computer.
I've worked for IHSS. You need a computer for that, bro.
Technically, I'm a caregiver, and I do not need. I don't use a computer ever.
How do you fill out your timesheet?
I handwrite it.
No, you can't do that anymore. It has to be on computer.
I do it every day.
You may handwrite it, but most likely somebody puts it in the computer.
It has to be
Maybe
put in
at
the
yeah.
computer, bro.
If you work in administration, yeah.
No, I've worked. I have several.
No,
people
I'm
that work at
telling you.
IHSS.
I'm telling you. I'm DSP. I'm direct support staff, and I do not have to use a computer. I know how to use a computer, and I've often brought it up to them about the things I could do when I see how fucked up some of the forms are. But that being said, no one there has to use a computer. I have an employee, I have a coworker does not know, barely knows how to use her phone, let alone a computer.
You're a caregiver. You don't know how to use a phone.
She barely knows how to use her phone, meaning she doesn't use her. She only uses her phone to talk and maybe possibly text.
So
is what I'm saying. She doesn't. When I say don't know how to use their phone, I'm saying don't know how to go and they have to ask you 21 questions how to do simple shit in their phones. That's what I mean. They only use the phone to conversate with, and
okay.
you get what I mean. I'm like, I'm not trying to go in detail about not a cell phone. I'm just saying my job doesn't require you to use a computer. So you could get this job in other places, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to have you apply on a computer, and in some cases, you take a test on a computer. And what I'm saying is, if you can't work that computer, the job doesn't require you to use the computer. So what's the big deal?
But the job does require you to use a computer. Just in your section, it doesn't, because like I said, from my knowledge,
you're not applying for that.
From my knowledge of it, and even G's knowledge of it, there's requirements of, and it says on the application you need some computer skills.
Yeah, that's what I read too.
Yeah, I literally read it, so I don't know where you're at and how they work it, but I mean, hey,
I'm
that's
telling
how
you,
that
literally,
works.
look.
I'm telling you too. I can.
We don't use computers at all.
Again, bro. I can't tell you what it is, because you're saying one thing. I can just agree to disagree, because everybody I know in that field needs a computer. I could call several people right now and they'll all tell you need some computer skills.
Well, I could testify that there's a good 20 employees that I know from the company that does not require them to use a computer other than on their phone when they have to go to a Zoom meeting because of COVID.
That is still use of computer.
Using a computer.
Yeah, it's still technically using.
We never had to do that before. We only had to do that just recently.
Like I said, but everything evolves, right?
Huh?
The world is digital now. The world is a technological place. If you can't adapt, then what?
You gotta get left behind.
But yeah, so that's a fucked up way to think. They even teach you that in the Army. You leave no man behind.
Okay, but
just saying that's the way that your line of thinking is. Oh, fuck him because he can't do this. Fuck him. Let him get on my nerves and ask me for change, and I tell him to get a fucking job, but I don't have a job for him to get. Mm-hmm. Let's say this. and then wonder why he gets on these drugs to try to forget that he's walking around with shit and piss on him and in the middle of the fucking street with nowhere to fucking go and nowhere to fucking work. So let me go ahead and take this dope so I can feel like I'm on the beach somewhere.
But it's I chuckled because you said even the military says no man left behind, right?
Right.
But before you can get to the point where they give you that respect, you have to go through their training. And if you don't pass their training, they fire you.
Mm-hmm.
And not only fire you, they fire you in such a way that you can't get a job anywhere. And you understand if you're dishonorably discharged from the military, a lot of companies don't fuck with you because they're like, damn, this dude can't even fucking do that.
Right.
And,
So yeah,
and on top of that, I mean, these so-called veterans, military, the veterans, you know, who's in their elder age.
I think that's the difference between the Democratic parties.
Look how the country's treated them. Yeah, I mean, look at the veterans who did do the military, did all the years. Look how the government is treating them.
There you go.
So when I say they're gonna get left behind, I'm not saying like we're genius or anything, but that's just how this system works. It's not system is built. They're gonna get left behind. So,
right.
Is it morally correct? Hell no, but that's just how it is.
Right. Right.
And we have to adapt. That we have to adapt and make sure. And that.
So how would you feel when you get ready to work, and there's 1,000 people blocking your way to get out of your house, sleeping on the street?
I mean, first thing, if it's getting that if it's getting to that point, all they're just going to do is just constantly keep moving them down and down until they get into some type of concentration camp away from the world. And they'll be living, but they got to live under their terms now.
How did that work out the first time?
Huh?
How did concentration camps work out the first time?
Oh, it was terrible, but they're going to lead right back into it.
I mean, we had this conversation. I'm not going to say too much about it because we had this conversation before, but I already talked about that. But I want y'all to go back to the older podcast that he was on, where you can hear my point on that. But I'll let you guys go ahead and finish that up.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible, but since they couldn't adapt, they're just going to lead right back into there. Yes, it sucks. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, it sucks.
It goes back to what I teach my kids. Nobody gives a fuck about you. But you. And it's a fucked up world. That's what it is. That's the fucked up world.
So you as an individual have to get the skills, adapt, and survive.
But let's be 100. Most of the time you get into these places is because you know somebody.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you don't, what if you don't know nobody?
But you got to go out there and network. You got
you got to work.
You got to
even harder.
network. You got to put in. There's a whole bunch of. You go on Meetup.com.
Who's gonna network with somebody who smells like ass from living on the street?
Huh?
I'm saying who's gonna network with somebody who smells like ass and living on the street?
I mean, the fact that he put in that work to be there, there's still people with compassion. If that guy, that homeless guy that smell that smell putrid goes to that networking event, and there's someone that has compassion for that guy, and they talk to that guy, and he sells himself. He might have a chance.
But he just said that we're not supposed to just give him opportunity.
Well, no, it's not even that. Like, I can't even agree with that argument. If you smell putrid, ain't nobody gonna talk to you. They're gonna call the cops.
That's not true.
Bullshit.
I talk to people who smell like that all the time.
Nah, hell no.
All the time.
You said going to a networking event. That they're going to be able to go to a networking event smelling like shit.
But you don't know. You don't know.
Oh yeah, bullshit, dude.
You don't know that.
Oh hell yeah.
You don't know that.
Hell yeah.
There could be someone
Hell yeah, I
happened
know that.
if
Hell yeah.
that
You're
guy?
talking
Wait,
about
hold on,
no.
hold on,
Like
hold on.
I could totally agree if
Hear
you're
me out,
talking
hear
about
me out.
if you no. Go
Well,
ahead.
hear me
Go
out.
ahead. Go
What
ahead. Go ahead.
happened if one of those guys in there had his own charity business, and every weekend he goes out there and donate food to the homeless? Him out there actually helping the homeless people out.
Yeah, but that's no. I could see if he was talking to him when he's helping the homeless people out. But you're talking about going to a networking event? Nah, dude. Smelling like putrid? Nah. Hell no.
Yeah, it's
No.
called free networking events. Do you
No,
know
that
how
was-
many?
The conclusion,
You know how
the
many times I've
conclusion
been to a
is
networking
nobody,
event
nobody
and
cares
someone
about
is
nobody.
coming with a fucking t-shirt and a jeans. And,
No.
and
Coming
he-
in with a t-shirt and jeans is far different from coming and smelling like garbage. There's two different
he
things.
can still do when it's a free net. He can still go in.
Nah,
He can
hell
still
no.
go in.
No. They will call the
Yeah.
cops and ask them to
When
leave.
you know how many
If-
times I work in downtown and I see a homeless guy walking into the store buying some shit.
That's different
I
from
mean,
going to a networking event. Nah,
they're-
that wouldn't.
They're not gonna even.
The best I'll give you is maybe like those college career center where it's all open and people can go in. Yeah, but you're talking about nah, dude.
But that's a network event.
That's not really a network event.
That's
more
a
like,
network.
But what are you
event.
guys talking about? Why do you guys have to have a networking event, bro? Networking is not an event. It's networking. Like you guys are losing sight of the whole thing.
Yeah. No, yeah. I was specifically talking about a network event. That's why.
Nobody gives a fuck about a networking event.
Yeah,
that's somebody that's already
that.
in the industry.
I get that.
That's not how you get ahead. You network. You talk to people, random people.
Correct.
Yes, but everybody else is like, network event.
You can't get a girl. You
100%
can't get a girl to talk to you just to say how you doing. How you gonna just get random people to talk to you? You can barely get a girl to say hi.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, okay. Now I got it. Now I'm on you. No, you can easily get random people to talk to you. You gotta have the gift of gab. That's one of the most important things to have. You think I'm lying? Talk to freaking I was about to say talk to you. Talk to James. He talks to people all the time. His business
James is cut from a different cloth.
I hate that James because James is probably working right now, so I hate that he
I did it on purpose.
I'm like, oh man.
I did that on purpose.
He freaking left at the wrong he freaking muted at the wrong time. Damn you fucking customers. Shout out for you making your money, but oh, that was bad. Oh, that's just bad timing. Oh, that's frustrating. I ain't gonna lie. That's very frustrating.